10 years ago, I had the opportunity to spend a day with someone who really changed my life in a lot of ways. And it is a famous basketball coach you probably heard of, Coach K. Coach Krzyzewski from Duke University was having a charity fundraising event where if you donated some money to this charity, that you could go down to Durham, North Carolina, spend a day with Coach K, attend a private practice, get a chance to meet him, listen to him do some teaching on leadership and team building. I was like, man, count me in. I really appreciate the invitation. My friend Alan invited me, who's one of my mentors. And it was awesome because I've read Coach K's books. He's got two great books, Leading from the Heart and The Gold Standard. But, getting some time around somebody who's, is one of the winningest basketball coaches of all time. I think Duke has won 6 national championships. He's the coach of the U.S. Olympic basketball team that's won a bunch of gold medals. So count me in. So we go down there and we're watching this, private practice. His practices are famously closed to outsiders. But this one day we're in there and we're watching the team run, and he keeps coming over and kind of talking to the group about, what they're doing and what they're trying to accomplish. In fact, at one point he's yelling, screaming at the guys because they did not meet his expectations for one of the plays. And it was a really cool experience. Then we went and we had dinner, got a chance to meet Jay Billis, who's kind of a famous Duke grad, got, some pictures with Coach K. My wife laughs at this picture. She's like, Coach K does not seem to be as excited to meet you as you are to meet him. I'm like, shut up. Got a basketball signed. Actually, the basketball you see over my left shoulder is a Duke ball that bought at their gift shop that Coach K signed for me. Then we had, after dinner, a time where he was just rolling, was just teaching, and taking notes like crazy. It was really, really cool. I filmed a couple little clips with my cell phone while he was talking. At one point, he was talking about nonverbal communication, which is totally, in my wheelhouse, right? That how you your gestures in your face and how you communicate a message with other things besides just your voice. And it was really cool. He's talking about strong face versus weak face, and how that as a coach, his role. And I got a little clip about him talking about that actually right here.
It's so good. We had this meeting this morning, and one of the things was having strong faces and no actions that look weak, like
body language.
Body language, the thing with you say the two of us are playing together, like today in practice, and you say something to me, like you should have been over here. And when they go like this, when they go like that, you want to punch them. Because that's like just saying, okay, I'm weak. Instead of saying, yeah, I got you. Or, all right, right now we're good. See, now when I did that with my hands were ready to go to work. When I did that with these hands, my hands were not ready to go to work. So the mental stuff translates into weak physical. And I really believe in all that stuff. I believe in that stuff 100%. Even with our Olympic team and our national team, when I watch tape with them and I see a strong face, I'll stop on that and I said, Carmelo, what do you see? I said, I love the way you look right now. I said, man, how do you guys feel about how you look strong, man? I said, so you have an impact on your teammate just by the way you look? Damn right. Damn right. And if I look weak, hopefully you've never, and on the bench, some people say I don't laugh or I don't, damn right I don't. But I don't look weak. Every time those two guys come to me in a huddle, they can't see a weak face or they can't hear a weak voice. And it's the same thing that's translating all the things you do. Like if I'm getting operated on, they have to put me to sleep and I see a surgeon coming in there like this. There's somebody else here. You get strength from not just words, you get strength by how people look and how they act.
And Coach K talked a lot about building teams, right? And about excellence and how every team is a little bit different. The thing that impacted me the most was when he talked about the difference between rules and standards. Nobody likes rules. A lot of people have standards. And here's Coach K explaining a little bit of what he means about the difference between rules and standards.
And I I don't like the concept of being ruled. Like at West Point, we had all these rules, and we didn't believe in most of them. It was somebody's rules for you, and so we never owned them. And that's why when you played, we had one rule: don't do anything that's detrimental to yourself, or because you'd be doing, something to our program. That gave me the leeway to lead, not to enforce rules. If you have so many rules, you just enforce the rules. That doesn't make you a leader. In fact, I think it can make you a bad leader, or no leader at all. And so with the national team, I said, okay, Kobe, LeBron, here are our rules. Just saying that is laughable.
You're right.
But it's not laughable that they have standards. They may have higher standards than me as far as how they prepare. So you get a common ground of where we all meet. And there is compromise, but there's compromise, it's at a high level. And then we say now, we all have to meet that level. And to me, it makes more sense. It just makes sense. And the word standard, I can own standard.
I tell you what, this difference between rules and standards was very impactful. And I use it in my training all the time now. I've worked with so many organizations, and they all have rules, right? And with rules come consequences. If you break the rules, punishments. And you can't just go firing people every time they break the rules. You can't spank people in the workplace. That's not going to work. And so every organization I've ever worked with struggles with, we have all these rules of conduct, but how do we enforce them fairly and consistently? And, with limited ways that we have to provide punishments or repercussions for people who break the rules. But this idea that what if you just had standards? Instead of me as the leader hold you accountable to follow the rules, what if we, as a team, held each other accountable to high standards? And Coach K explained that he goes in a room every year, players and coaches, they close the door, and they write their standards on the board. What standards are we going to hold each other accountable to this year? And I asked, can you give us an example? And he said, well, some of them are none of your business, but here's one of them. One of our standards this year is no sloppiness. Not on the court, not in the locker room, not in your dorm room. We are not a sloppy team. And if anyone on the team catches anyone else being sloppy, it's your obligation as a teammate to say, hey, come on, we're not a sloppy team. It's such a powerful idea. And I work with organizations all the time, and we do brainstorming on what are the standards of this organization. That we're going to treat each other with respect, that we're going to provide amazing customer service, that there's going to be open and honest communication, that we function with transparency, whatever those standards are. You know what I've learned doesn't work? The boss saying, here's the standards, right? But to get employees, or at least, second level managers together to brainstorm these standards so people have ownership. Like Coach K said, you can own a standard in a way that you can't own the rules. So powerful, such an amazing day. And I tell people, I learned more about leadership, teamwork, and team building from one day with Coach K than I did 5 years of college and 2 college degrees. One little nice thing he did after the fact is we all got pictures, me and my friends, my friend Alan, my friend Joe, and Matt and Mike. We all got pictures with Coach K, and I was taking them on my camera. So when I got home, I thought, I got an idea. I printed out 8x10s, and I contacted Coach K's secretary and said, hey, this is Jeff. We were down there, last week. If I sent you some 8x10s in the mail with, a postage paid envelope, do you think Coach K would sign them? And she said, absolutely he would. So I sent him down there, and he signed each one of them. Here's a picture of mine that's on my wall in my office where he signed them, follow your heart. I think I got 8 of these total, and I went and I had them framed for everybody and mailed them out. So now my buddies got these in their houses too. And what an amazing day. What an extraordinary leader. You know what I found? That when I get time around extraordinary leaders, it makes me want to be a better leader. That's really what true inspiration is, right? He wasn't like, Jeff, let me encourage you. He's just setting an example, extraordinarily high standard in his life of leadership, and allowing other people to get a glimpse at it so that we can follow in his footsteps. Very, very powerful thing. Love Coach K, and love that I was able to learn so many things. You never know where you're going to learn things. They're going to be able to help you have a more prosperous, more effective, more epic life.